Yo,
Hey!
what's up? Black Nubons,
This is Lily Million.
and we there.
Newborns!
Do check out the channel if you haven't.
Check it out on YouTube, please.
Alright. Shout outs to Scope
Yeah.
for putting us on, man. We're gonna talk about serious things
Yeah.
because we normally clowns.
Usually we clown a lot, but today we're going to
Even
be
have a
very serious.
bookshelf.
This is how serious we are, guys.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna speak about excellence
Yeah.
and success and just ideas around that stuff. But you were reading an article.
Yeah, so last year around October, an article I found it on Facebook or something. It was actually written for the Mail and Guardian by a writer called Kiri Rupia, I think it was, and it's called "Whose Black Excellence Is It?" I encourage you to read it. But I mean, so she speaks about black excellence and what that means. But reading that article kind of made me think about excellence and success as a whole.
Yeah.
And how do we measure what it means to be successful, what it means sort of to be excellent, and some of the pressures that are kind of around that whole concept. And I mean, I've kind of been mulling it over the past year, so to speak, and just being an adult and trying to live life and just feeling like there are lots of standards I kind of have to live up to.
Yeah, sure. And I think when we think of excellence or success, one thing I can say just off the bat is that social media hasn't helped.
Oh no, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You made a comment earlier on when we were chatting that, like, obviously now the thing that's different is that people are becoming successful in terms of making money, in terms of making wealth at a very younger age compared to like generations before us.
And it's public.
Yeah,
everybody knows.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So before, if you'd make $1 million, like only your close circle would know. But now it's like bam on social media. So even like friends you haven't seen in 20 years will know about it. You know what I mean? So first of all, don't want to seem like I'm bashing social media because I think it's a dope invention. But I've always said, and I'll say it again, I think they fail to account for our sin and our brokenness. The fact that we want to be God at the core of our hearts.
Sure.
And if you're going to give people a space to be God.
And to be seen.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's all about them.
It's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
And so I think some of the ideas of success and excellence have been polluted just by this God complex that is displayed very blatantly on social media.
And I mean, just on that, so I think one of the biggest things when it comes to excellence and, you know, that whole, specifically excellence, you know what I mean? Because I feel like excellence takes it to a new level. Everything below that is invalid. You must be excellent. Is, especially like obviously on social media, you have to be the CEO of X company, or you have to own this many cars, or this many yachts, or you have to have like 5 kids and like have abs. You know what I mean? Like you have to.
Like give birth today and tomorrow
and snap
look
back
like Jackie Chan.
Immediately.
You know what I mean? It's like,
you know, and just how it kind of started to feel as though if I'm not number one in everything, then am I actually excellent? You know what I mean? Because that's what I see as excellence. You know, and just feeling like, sure, but who's number one in everything, man? Because I mean, you
all the time,
like all the time. The first at this, the first at that. Obviously, I'm not saying that we shouldn't aspire for that, but it just kind of made me feel as though, sure, it's either you're number one or you're nothing.
And you're constantly bombarded by this stuff because obviously you're on social media, so you're seeing it on your feed, you're hearing other people talk about it within like the online community, and so it always like just builds the anxieties and builds the pressure. And I think, you know what I mean, like examples you gave, like I mean, I think of another one where people are like, oh, I have 500 stamps, look at how much I
travel.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, thanks.
Get a new passport every 3 months.
Thanks, bro. Like you're gonna start stamping your face and having tattoos of where you've been. Whatever.
Amsterdam.
You know what I mean? So, but you're constantly bombarded with that stuff. But I think people who do that and people who like eat that stuff up, it's cause there's a narrative that has been created. That I don't think that, like, and I say this very cautiously, like very ordinary people who don't have 500 stamps, who don't have like businesses, who don't drive the latest fancy car, I think have bought into it because we think that's the only thing that will sell. And I'm not saying sell in the sense that people will make money out of it, but that's all that social media wants.
Or like that will get them attention or sort of validation. This is what people want to see, right?
So quote unquote ordinary people you wouldn't want to put what seems to be quote unquote ordinary on your page because it's like, well, it's not going to be deemed as excellent. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or if I put whatever it is, and I think we'll chat more about it, just what is ordinary and what is actually excellent and successful. But we're not going to put that stuff up because of this false narrative that has been created. So anyway, my point with that is that I think the narrative has to change so that we give a more realistic perspective on what success actually is, and use social media for what it is. Not all of us are brands, you know what I mean? Like, sure, everybody says treat yourself like a brand, but I'm like, come on, you know what I mean? Like if we're supposed to connect with people and just like live, how's about we start showing life and celebrating life as a success, you know what I mean? So,
and I mean, life is so real. So you'll get a girl who's just gotten a job, you know, just graduated, and she's wearing the biggest brand, she's eating at the best places, and I'm kind of like, but I don't, like, how is that possible? I mean, I'm not, obviously, if you land a really cushy job, great, but I'm just saying for a very ordinary person, most likely you're just trying to buy yourself a new fridge, or like you don't have a couch yet. I mean, we started out like that. It was like real, you know what I mean? Or pay off debt. And I mean, that's another huge one, just speaking on social media and the pressures. I actually found a place of relief early this year when, not relief, but it was really unique where some of these artists that I follow, more independent artists, had put out how they wanted to be debt free this year.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and the amount of the amount of attention that whole Debt Free 2018 garnered. Yeah. Because you realize how many ordinary people are actually in debt. So people would put out, my big thing is to get rid of my 100K debt within the next 36 months.
Yeah,
and
student loans.
You know, it felt like we all were in a room, we're like, all exhaled, we're like, shucks, we're all going through this. Not everyone has travel stamps. Yeah. Most people are just trying to survive, and how, you know, the story of just getting out of debt was so uplifting, and how it, you know, changed people, and how it sort of views on, again, what success actually is. Because then you think to yourself, how many of us have actually put ourselves in positions where we are in debt, or we're making really bad decisions because we're trying to look like something that we're not.
Sure. And so I think what we're saying with that is let's change the narrative. So let's have, like, the fact that, I mean, we have friends who have a baby, and we look after the baby at times. And we went to the mall the other day, and I was holding the baby, and the amount of looks we got, because here's a man, obviously they thought I was the dad, black man who's holding the baby, you know what I mean? And people are like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Because stories like that are not celebrated. That is excellence, you know what I mean? If we think of the black community particularly, and absent fathers, if we see absent fathers, why don't we put that stuff up? That's worth celebrating. That is excellence, because that will change lives. It's not just me flashing my travel stamps, and we probably travel stamps are so, we talk about them so much. Like somebody hurts us with travel stamps. Anyway, nobody hurts us with travel stamps. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, but nobody will say, yo, look at how that dude is just being, you know what I mean? Like a father, or even mothers, you know what I mean? Like, how many stories do we know of mothers that went through like dirt, man, to put people through school, to feed their kids, you know what I mean? But even if that's your story, you're not gonna put it on social media because you're like, nah, this stuff does not look attractive, like the travel stamps and the fancy car and the business that I run or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think what has happened is that the concept of success, or the concept of excellence, has become an elitist thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, if you belong to that group, then you can speak about excellence.
Then you're excellent.
Then you're excellent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, bro. Like, there's very ordinary, quote unquote, and this stuff is not even ordinary, but for the sake of this video, there's ordinary things that people are doing that seem very dope, that seem very excellent, that will bring up like a sense of success in how people are achieving things, you know what I mean, that we should put up more. You guys have those stories, you know what I mean?
And I think there's no shame in, you know, again, just going back to that article, there's no shame in just, you work your 9 to 5 and you pay rent, or you pay your bond, and your kids are fed, or shucks, you paid off your fridge, yay, or whatever it is. There's no shame in that, in just being able to function as a human being in this life
Listen.
with everything that's against us is success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's excellent. You know, the example of Black and dads and all of that stuff. The example Black gave about dads and if you have a family unit that is working, that's great.
Yeah.
Like that
Props
is
to
awesome.
that.
You know, don't and I think we get it. I'm tempted as well. I'm tempted to do that as well, where I want to downplay all these wonderful things that God has given me and blessings. You know what I mean? With the aim of trying to be something else. You know,
Yes.
then you miss out on all the goodness that's around you.
Yes.
You know, you miss out on the fact that, hey, I got my first car. It was an Uno. Do they still make Unos?
They do. There's a
Do
new
they?
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, big ups.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like the latest whatever Mercedes. And if that's your latest car, yeah, man,
Yeah.
do you. But I think the idea is that it's just to be able to sometimes need to just zoom out and just really take stock of what you have in order to really be appreciative and be like, yeah, man, you're part of the club too. You're excellent.
Yeah. God gave you breath.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? God gave you a mind. God gave you skills. God has given you opportunities to do life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a way that is excellent. So you're not just living like, you're not a couch potato,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're really trying to do stuff in life. So big ups to that stuff. And I think, like you're saying, it does give us perspective to appreciate, first of all, the most important things in our lives.
Yeah.
One being God, first and foremost. When we have perspective of who He is and what He's actually given us, and we can thank Him wholeheartedly and be grateful and have like genuine gratitude in our hearts. Transforms everything,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And secondly, the most valuable thing else that God has given us is people, you know what I mean? So loving our neighbor, and our neighbor is not just the dude who lives next door, but my wife is my neighbor. I'm her neighbor. Hey, what's up, neighbor? You know what I mean? People you work with, people you go to church with, the guy that you chill with in the taxi, or the petrol attendant that you never speak to, right? you know that guy, you always pour gas by the same garage, but you never speak to that dude. How like the fact that you'll have a conversation with him, that is excellence, man. That is success, because you're investing in lives, you're investing in somebody's soul. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that stuff is,
and I mean,
what should be celebrated.
Yeah, sorry. And just in closing, I just want to say, like, obviously we're not saying don't have dreams or don't, you know what I mean? But I think write your own story.
Yeah.
You know, figure out like how you can glorify God in whatever it is that you're doing. And remember, at the end of the day, it's an audience of one.
Yep.
You know, no amount of likes on your latest picture or the amount of pats on your back are going to comfort you.
Yeah.
You know, especially when life gets real, which it does for all of us. You know what I mean? So it's also a matter of remembering who you are, your identity, and really just being grateful. You know, but still, dream big, go for those things. We're not saying don't do that, obviously. Go for them. But don't let your identity be wrapped up in that. So much that you miss out on what really matters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't feel pressures when they come sell you bitcoins. Stop selling me bitcoins and stop calling me to trade. I don't want to trade. I just want to live my life. Alright.
Peace out, guys.
Alright, shout outs, man. Black Nubons, Lily Million, the Nubons.
You are excellent.
You are successful. Alright, one.
Peace.